sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. It's always nice to sew with you. I've been working on a baby quilt. It might be more of a toddler size quilt. It's about 47 by 47, and I'm still thinking I might make it a little bit longer to make it more of a toddler size, but I am done for now. I've added the last block. I did some sailboats, some stars, fish, and today I'm adding some pinwheels to the bottom. Let's get started. This quilt has been in process for a little while now. I have videos with all the blocks. This was the first block I started with, the sailboat, and I made 4 sailboats. Then I made some stars, and I tried to puzzle things together. I sort of floated those boats and stars, and after I made these 2 blocks and got them together, I added some fish to the bottom. Today I am going to make some pinwheel blocks for the bottom of my quilt. Sometimes simple is best. I had a lot of good ideas. People left comments of what block I should add to the bottom, but I think I decided just a simple block would be best, and so I'll be making some pinwheels. I ended up making 5 pinwheels with these 3.5-inch squares. So I'm drawing a pencil line corner to corner. I'll sew on both sides of the pencil line, and I need 2 sets of these little squares to make 1 pinwheel block. After trimming all of my half square triangles to 3 inches, I joined them together to make a pinwheel, and I wanted to make sure that my pinwheels are all going the same way. So you do need to pay attention to the direction of your half square triangles. I decided to lay them out this way, so I'll just need to make sure that they're all going the same way as I make the rest of my pinwheel blocks. Just like the boats, the stars, and the fish, I'll be staggering my pinwheels along the bottom of my quilt. And if you were with me the last time when I made those fish, you'll remember I lost a brown fish, and between last time we were together and this time I did find my little brown fish. So rather than put him on the back of my quilt, I added 1 more row of squares, and he's on that 4th row. So I think that turned out really well because I kind of needed that extra row. So I had a row already put together, so all I had to do was remove a couple of squares and put this little fish, insert this little fish into that row. I ended up making 5 pinwheels, and again I staggered them and I just filled in the open areas with the 3-inch squares. So all of these quilt blocks are sort of based on that 3-inch size, and that way I can just put things together. Everything fits together really nicely, and the squares finish at 2.5 inches, but all of the elements for my quilt blocks I began with a 3-inch square, or that 3-inch size. I needed some rows of just plain squares, so I did have to cut some more of my background fabrics to make some long strips with just squares. I thought it needed a break between some of my quilt blocks there, and I also added a strip of squares on the top of my quilt and on the bottom, and the quilt top ended up to be square. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not sure, I may add a couple more rows of just squares to make this quilt a little longer, but that decision will be for another day. And here is the quilt top, all complete. I really, really like this quilt. It was a fun quilt to put together, and it was just fun thinking about what's next and adding it as I went along. I think those simple pinwheels at the bottom go really nicely with the rest of the quilt. It didn't have to be a nautical theme. It didn't have to go with the ships, but sometimes just a simple quilt block is all you need to finish a fun quilt like this. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.